Hey everyone, it is Sunday, January 21st, 2024, and we have some cruise news today. We're going to talk a little bit about Royal Caribbean. We're going to go into Galveston a little bit since I just got off the Jubilee, talk about that port, and much, much more. Let's go. Hey everyone, John here from Bite Size Cruises, fresh off the Carnival Jubilee. I'm going to do a video tomorrow on my debrief. I'm going to record it today so you'll get my immediate reactions after getting off of the Carnival Jubilee. So let's get into our cruise news for the day. Michael Bailey talked this week a little bit about the new Royal Caribbean island that they're building on Paradise Island there in Nassau, Bahamas. It's the little strip of land. If you've ever ported in Nassau, when you port, they have the big cruise port there. Out in the distance, you see Atlantis, the big resort. And then right to the left of where everybody docks there's a little strip of land there. That's going to be Royal Caribbean's new Royal Beach Club there. They're talking about, it's going to take a few years, obviously. The Bahama government is going to own 49% of it, and then Royal Caribbean's going to own 51% of it. So really interesting. They are starting obviously this year with Utopia coming out, and Utopia doing every sailing, 3 and 4 day sailings are hitting Coco Key. They're going to have 15,000 passengers a week going to the Bahamas, which is crazy. So they're also going to be stopping in Nassau. Obviously, it's the next logical stop if you're going to Perfect Day. So really interesting. They're really building up their own demand for this. So I'm intrigued to see what it's going to be like, what the prices are going to be like. I've noticed in the past few months, the Royal pricing is it's going Disney, which is great for Royal Caribbean. I mean, I'm not going to hate on people for making money or having a good business and having a great product, which they do. I think it's just going to be out of reach for some people moving forward. But no signs of that yet. Everybody's still booking and going on Royal Caribbean, so they're doing just fine. So I'm not here to criticize them for that. However, let's talk about Icon of the Seas. I know everybody's already seen it, but I just wanted to cover it quickly. Yes, they have a chief dog officer. Yes, his name is Rover. He's a puppy. He is going to be living on the ship. I've seen all of the adorable videos. I think it's a great idea. It's a great marketing idea as well. Royal Caribbean does a great job with marketing. So there you go. Rover is the chief dog officer. He's adorable. Next up, some crazy news on Virgin Voyages. Brilliant Lady came out this week that I think everybody knows once a cruise ship goes on sale, it's generally at least a year, sometimes 18 months to 2 years, depending on sales and trying to ramp up for that new build once it goes on sale. But we're now hearing that and these are not substantiated, direct dates, but it's looking like Brilliant Lady will not be out in 2024 at all. If at all, we're looking at late 2025, which is crazy. I can't believe that they've pushed it. It's going to be getting pushed back close to 2 years when all is said and done. Maybe it will be 2 years in 2026. I have no idea. They have no release date. They have no sale date for when the ship's going to go back on sale. Crazy. And they're Virgin, from everything I've heard, I think people enjoy the product. So it's really kind of sad that they're not able to get this fourth ship in the fleet. They didn't have really any issues prior to this. Next up, again, more rumblings about Royal Caribbean and Celebrity combining their programs. At this point, it has to happen. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I truly believe that. So I think that that's going to happen sooner rather than later, but we shall see. No exact word on what it's going to be like yet and what the different perks are going to be. So I'm excited to hear about it. I can't wait, and we will find out. At this time, I'd love to ask you to subscribe to our channel. We're just a small travel agency trying to give you the best information about cruising so that you can plan and go on an amazing cruise vacation. We put out a brand new cruise video every single day. We post at 11 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday and 5 p.m. throughout the week, every single day. We do a live stream on Wednesday as well at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So come join us in this awesome community that we have here. Next up, let's talk about a fun little disco cruise, the ultimate disco cruise which is going to be sailing in February of 2025 on Norwegian Pearl. This ship gets chartered a lot. And Cole and the Gang is going to be on there. The Spinners are going to be on there. Lisa is going to be on there. If you love that older disco type music from the 70s and early 80s, this is a great, fun cruise for you. Again, February 2025 on the NCL Pearl. Next bit of cruise news, Carnival Vista is in dry dock. It's going to be in dry dock, and it's going to be sailing again in early February. Just getting your normal maintenance, getting up to speed. The ship was built in 2015, 2016, so it's about time for that kind of little facelift and makeover. And having just got off the Jubilee, which is a beautiful brand new ship, it's nice to see the Carnival's investing in maintenance and upgrades and all of that. My last bit of cruise news is that Galveston Port was up 42% increase in passengers from 22 to 23, and it's going to go up even way more this year. Now, I have some feelings about Galveston. I'll probably do a whole video on it, but I wanted to talk briefly about my experience at Galveston. Getting to the port was fine. I didn't have any issues. It is expensive to take an Uber from the airport. There are 2 airports there, but it's expensive to take an Uber from the airport to the terminal, so to speak, right? I was staying at a hotel the night before, right by the port. It was over $100 for me to get there. Now, I talked about it in my vlog. One of the issues was there wasn't a lot of Ubers available, so it was like a 30 or 40 minute wait for the like $60 Uber. So I wound up paying extra to get there because I would have not gotten there for like 3 hours. So that's something to think about. Does it make sense to take cruise ship transfers? Now, here's the other side of that. We had a terrible, unfortunate incident on the Jubilee, passenger of the ship. We had a medical emergency. We had to divert to Cancun. The passenger passed away. We didn't even make it to Cancun, but it derailed us for hours, right? Which happens, and it's so sad and terrible for the family that had to experience that. We got back into port very late. It was complete chaos getting off the ship because, God forbid, people follow rules and realize that, hey, there was this terrible tragedy. Maybe we should kind of respect that and try to just go with the flow. Nope, it was complete chaos. So by the time I got off the ship, it was after 11. So I had a 12 o'clock flight, 12:30 flight. I never book flights before noon anyway, and I learned a valuable lesson on this one, being an hour or so away from the port. I had to cancel that flight. So I lost that money, most of that money, and then I booked a 2:15 flight on American, and I wound up missing that flight. So I got on I did the transfer from Carnival, leaving the ship. I got on my shuttle at around 11:15, and then we sat there for 20 some minutes. So that's already my bad. I should have just taken an Uber. I should have realized, hey, it's going to be a close call. Then when I got on the shuttle at 11 something, the guy's like, what time's your flight? I said 2 something. And he was like, you're not going to make your flight. So there's a ton of construction and different things. It takes about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours now to get to the airport. Everybody on my shuttle missed their flight, except for people that yelled and screamed the most. Now, I will put a caveat on there. I would have made my flight. If I had a 2:20 flight, there was people next to me that had like a 2:50 flight. So mine was a half an hour before theirs. They screamed and yelled the whole way on the shuttle to get dropped off first. They were at Terminal C. I was at Terminal A. Guess which one comes first? Terminal A. Now, the guy told me, I heard him on the phone. He was like, I'm going to Terminal C first. These people have the earliest flight. I said, hey, just an FYI, I'm at Terminal A and I have a 30-minute earlier flight. And he said, he just lied to me and said, well, Terminal C's first when you come into the airport. And we drove into the airport and it clearly wasn't. But again, this is what happens when people are unreasonable and they yell. They tend to get their way. And that's sad that that's the way the world is, but it is. They made their flight. I missed mine. So I had to cancel that flight, lost that money. I had to book another flight at 6:15 in the evening. I got home. Whatever. Again, some family had a terrible loss on that. It's not the end of the world that I had to reschedule some flights and get home. But again, my point here of all of that rambling is that knowing that it would have taken me, that I would have had to sit at the airport for 5 or 6 hours, knowing that I wouldn't be able to get to the airport for two and a half hours, whatever it took us to get to the airport from the cruise terminal. There are a lot of things I could have done. Should have taken an Uber. I would have made my 2 p.m. flight, knowing that when you get on a shuttle, it's going to take some time. It's just the way it is. So a lot of lessons learned, but I don't think, unless there's a compelling reason, that I would go out of Galveston again. It's just too far. Port Canaveral's far, and I deal with that, from time to time because I love that port and there's a lot of great ships there. There would have to be a really compelling reason for me to go back to Galveston. So great for locals if you live in Houston or Galveston or Corpus Christi or anything that's kind of drivable from there. It's great. But again, just keep in mind there are going to be a lot of challenges with traffic and different things there. Anyway, that's the news for today. Hope you have a great Sunday. If your football teams are still in it, congratulations. Congratulations to the 49ers and the Ravens. Today we got the Bills and the Chiefs playing and somebody else, Tampa Bay and Detroit. So good luck to everybody. And we'll see everybody tomorrow for our debrief on the Jubilee. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.